That brings us to the next topic. Ownership of the restaurants. This is a bit of a difficult topic. So in general, it's not going to be actual ownership. On paper, the restaurants will be owned by the government. So anybody that, in quote, runs the restaurant is replaceable. For whatever reason that may be. An activity or whatever. Generally, obviously that's more of a last resort thing, I'd hope. A koi, which is down here. It's not in yet, but it's gonna be in soon TM. Yeah, also don't even need to do that. Like I don't want to put an RP character in, because personally I just don't want that to be a thing, because then you have, in quotes, a character that you'll want to run to or talk to get shit done again, and I feel like we've done it in 3.0. We don't need to do that again. So a thing I'll probably do is like a one-time character or something that I'll literally delete afterwards, such as says, hey, you've been chosen to co-run this restaurant. Yeah, there'll be franchise managers, yes. Here you go, don't fuck it up, or the government will take care of you, replace you, whatever. So the general idea is each of these restaurants is going to have 2 or maybe 3 managers, and decision making wise they'll be evened out. So if you have 2 owners, it's a 50-50. If you have 3 owners, it's 33, right? What I want there to be is like, for public, I'm probably just gonna keep it how it is right now. Although I don't fully know yet. I might have to talk to. Obviously, we do a lot of 3D changes, which are like already on public. So maybe I'll talk to the public staff team, and just have them give out the restaurants to somebody they trust on public to run them. But that's kind of how they can deal with it themselves. So who runs the... I know there is somebody for Hydra that runs a stall, and Raccoon is active with it, but he doesn't actually own it. Who actually owns it? Jasper, okay. Is Jasper actually running it, or is Raccoon running it? So, Raccoon only recently. Okay, Raccoon is the face. So, probably for easier sake, I'll give Jasper priority, and if Jasper says he doesn't want to do it, it'll be Raccoon, pretty much, as one of the half for Hornies. They can figure that out themselves. Jasper gets asked, and if Jasper says no, then it'll be Raccoon. And if Raccoon says no, then we're in trouble. In general, what I want to avoid is like, or in general, what my goal is, I want it to be focused on the people that actually ran the stalls. So that's why the ownership of this is going to be Jasper/Raccoon instead of like Flippy. And then the other half would be KC, because they're also in Mirror Park, which would be nice for them. They don't have it far. But I heard they might want to run Koi instead as one of the half instead of Hornies. Yes, I heard a lot of KC wants to team up with ADMC. That's what I heard too. I think Luna wanted to message me about it last night, and then I was sleeping and didn't respond anymore. The other active stall that I know is Besties. Who actually owns the Besties stall? This is currently a map-free zone. Mike and Cassie. So it would be, you'd have Besties, as in Mike, run half of Up and Atom, because they've already been doing RP with it. So it just makes sense. It's just Mike. Okay. So Besties, as in Mike, and his staff gets to run half of Up and Atoms. And then I guess Koi will do Casey. I mean, it doesn't have to match, right? It doesn't have to match as to what they did in their stall. It doesn't really matter, right? It really doesn't matter. It's just that I know Hydra people have been doing RP with Hornies already, and Besties people have already been doing RP with Up and Atom. So it doesn't really make sense to split them up or give them something else. They would make the restaurant in there, like there would be mechanics to make food. So we have KC, Koi, Besties, Up and Adam, Hydra on paper. I'm just doing this for simplicity's sake because I'm not going to remember all the names. Hornies. That leaves room for the secondary owners. So I think it would be funny if Denzel was the second co-owner for Up and Adam. I think it would be really funny. See, so the issue is, while I agree with what you're saying, is we have a lot of stall owners and a lot of them run shops. I don't want to disadvantage anyone. I want this to be somewhat even. Or it would be better for Denzel. So the thing is, like, like I said, these managers are 50-50, right? So it's not that one has more power over the other. So it's kind of a figure it out situation. The thing with it's like the issue with the issue with not giving it to some stalls is that it's hard to actually gauge what do you consider active and what not. It's difficult. Where do you draw the line? Because I don't want to deal with any drama of this. Is my general POV. Obviously, KC Hydra Besties are the active ones, which is why they each get one and aren't getting put into the same. Putting two of the super active ones into the same one isn't really good, in my opinion. The thing is like, I'd rather have like one group that's super active in each, and then have all the other less active ones fill. Then have two active ones in one, because then you have the issue that one of the other, or maybe two of the other restaurants would never open. I mean, I guess you could do that. I could tell the primary, the active stall groups that get half ownership of the restaurant to figure out who else they're going to run it with. And it's going to have to be somebody that had a stall before. How does that sound? It would be better for the RP. That's what I'm thinking. It would be a favoritism co-ownership. Yes. What about you make streamers spit via gifted subs to your channel for ownership? Yeah, I guess it would be good RP. My initial intention is I want there to not be drama between the co-owners necessarily. I want them to figure it out together. And I'd rather want there to be funny, and I emphasis funny, food wars between the restaurants. Like sabotaging, shit like that. Something that's funny. Not blasting up the other shop type. That war. Because I think when we get to the point of shooting each other up, we're actually having an actual war, and I think at that point the government would just take restaurants and give it to somebody else. Make them green zones. I don't know about that one. Realistically, it's going to be a popular spot to kidnap people. It would be funny to add a bunch of mechanics where other stalls can actually sabotage you and like prevent you from selling food for a couple minutes or something. Or there's like a cooldown to it, so you can't just repeatedly do it. Yeah, shutting off the electricity, flood the toilets, yeah. Corrected driver for intercoms, that's good too. So, we have Koi down here. We have Up and Adam up here. And then we have Hornies right here. I think it's a good, like, distance in between each other. Koi is a little bit out of the way. But technically, the apartments are like right here. So it's really not far from the apartments themselves. Yeah, and then you have Senior Buns in the center, which is going to be used for, I guess, other stuff. Corey got the casino nearby. That's also good, yes. And each of these restaurants will have to find a partner. And one of the partner has to be somebody else that ran a stall. Yeah, I mean, they can figure it out in character, I guess. This could work really well for ADMC. It could work really well for Denzel. Then maybe Hyder runs it with, I don't know who else. Doesn't really matter. I know Jordan has a stall, but for simplicity stakes, for evenness, I'm just gonna have it be Raccoon or Jasper, I guess, and be even 50-50 with somebody else. Because if we start with the thing where somebody is 66 and the other is 33, it'll just get messy, and I don't want to start it being messy. Yes, Jordan isn't going to be an option for Jasper or Raccoon. That's what I'm saying. And like personally, I'd like to encourage each of these groups to maybe partner up with somebody that isn't just an easy partner. If there's like a little bit of drama, but not like crazy drama, like roleplay drama between the co-owners, it would be great. Realistically, everybody's gonna pick the easy partner, whatever that is for the respective group. But maybe one or two groups would pick somebody that kind of challenges them a bit too. Yeah, the restaurant Cinco's working on is in here. But it's like, I think it's like one of his personal projects. I don't believe we have an interior for Clock and Bell now. Same with Lucky Plucker. The only thing we have for Lucky Plucker is, I guess, Maldini's, which eventually got moved there, right? But it's also just kind of, I don't know. But I also don't believe we have an interior for it, so. Maldini's is still a thing, but the thing is, like, I don't want to add more than 3 restaurants, because that just defeats the purpose.